Hello, today we're going to make an easy homemade pizza dough. I'm going to start off with 7/8 of a cup of warm water. I usually like to keep it about 110 to 120. This is at 114 degrees, and I'm going to add my sugar with a tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of yeast, and I'm going to let this sit for 5 minutes once I stir it here to activate my yeast. Got 5 minutes to wait. And that's it. That's going to sit now for 5 minutes. Now we're going to add the tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to mix that gently to combine everything. I like to use the end of a round spoon to combine everything. Then we're going to do my 1 3/4 cups of flour. I use all-purpose flour. You can start separating from the sides. I'm going to put it on my counter, except it looks like I need to add a little more flour. I don't want it this wet, so I'm just going to add a little more flour at a time here to make sure that I have a nice separation from the bowl. Flour down. Put this on here. Working with the dough here so it absorbs all the water. I still don't feel it getting a little stiff, so I'm gonna knead it some more. And when I feel it getting a little stiff, then I'm going to roll it. I formed the dough and I put it in a oiled Cuisinart pan. And I'm going to let the dough sit now so I can get my ingredients ready. We're going to chop up some greens. This is what's going to go on the dough. Half of it will go to cook from the beginning. It takes about 10 minutes for the whole thing to cook at 350 in my Cuisinart. But I'm going to chop up all these greens now. A couple minutes before the end of cooking is when I add the remainder of the greens. So we'll come back in about 5 minutes and assemble everything. Okay. I use about 2/3 of a cup of any tomato sauce that you like. You can even make a white sauce with cheese, which I do sometimes. Right now I'm spreading it with the back of a spoon. Try to stay away from the edges. I don't want to have my fire alarm go off when I burn the edges of the pizza in my little oven. Because the microgreens aren't seasoned, I like to add a little salt at different stages, just a little. This is Himalayan salt. I also put my cheese. This is an Asiago cheese. It's got a little nice bite to it. I put that on at different stages also, so it's just not all a gooey pizza. We're keeping little cheese, not too much, just enough for the taste. That was Asiago. This is a little Parmesan that I tried to add on also for a different enhanced flavor. Now we're going to put some greens on. I've got my Cuisinart at 350 right now, heating up. It's been heating up the whole time that I've started making the dough and putting these toppings on. I want to microwave, and I do it on the lower level, as you'll see when I load it up. And that's enough right now. We're going to add a little more salt. Sounds like I'm putting a lot on, but I've got it on micro. I also do a complete seasoning of whichever you have, anything in the house that can season your little. I like to put a little. This happens to be a Badia complete seasoning. I'm now going to put some onions on. These are just your very regular. I like to use Vidalia sweetened onions. They're not too biting and they just give it a nice little flavor. Any sweet onions, I'm naming Vidalia onions, but any sweet onion will do. We're going to put a little mushrooms on here today. I'm also going to finish my Asiago, and just as I mentioned before, we're going to add another layer of microgreens on top of this, which is why it's going to be sandwiched with this cheese that I'm adding now. So this cheese will be an added layer, and we're going to be going in the oven. That completes that for now. It's now going in the oven. And the pizza's out of the oven. This is what it looks like. Now we've added all our 2 coatings. You hear the crunch?